Hey guys, and today we have quite a bit of a subject. This subject is in ranges from very strange, very weird, even you would say, or I could even say, abnormal. It's something that is definitely of a supernatural thing, and it's not something that is on a natural base. So, you guys may be wondering, what am I ranting on about? A lot of people have been talking about this, and this subject is getting really, really, really big. And I've also too have experienced this myself, and am experiencing new things that are changing each and every day. So, once again, you might wonder, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the Mandela effect. Now, many of you may call people who have this sort of thing happen to them conspiracy theorists, or you just remember incorrectly or something like that. But I can reassure you, there is no mismemories here, or there are no misinterpretations of what something was compared to what something is today. So, first, to start, I'll explain a little bit what the Mandela effect is and how it works and why it affects people. First, like I said, I'll explain what the Mandela effect is. First off, the Mandela effect is some type of effect named by Nelson Mandela, because a lot of people believe that Nelson Mandela died a long time ago, but in reality, he actually didn't die up until a later date. Now, I didn't have the particular dates, which I should have gotten, but the story claimed that people noticed that Mandela had died before he did, and some other people said that he didn't die at all till a much later date. Now, that's where the name comes from. So that's where we get our Mandela effect, and that's where it ties into. So apparently, how this works is the Mandela effect changes the future, or your future, or time of which you lived in, according to your timeline. So, and thus, if you knew something the way that it was in your timeline and you experienced the Mandela effect, well, if you experienced the Mandela effect and something was what it was in your timeline and you experienced it, well, you will quite know that it's not the same anymore, or some slight subtle change has been made to what you originally knew or what you were aware of at that time. So, if I could be a little bit more explanative, then I'll just do it this way. So, say for instance, you remember something previous in your life, and then it just changed completely. You knew what it was right from a child, and you've seen it all your life, and you couldn't have misremembered it because it's been something that's been ingrained in your memory, and it's like drilled in there like a nail and a hammer. So you come to find out years later this has been changed. Now, we're not talking about some ordinary change. No. And this is where the details will get a little bit better explained in this case, because, well, you may say, well, yeah, things can change and they can be updated over time. Yes, this is true. Some things can update over time, and some things become new over time. But what the Mandela effect does is that it doesn't just update things over time. It changes them entirely from the beginning of time of which and where it started. So let's just say you had something you knew all your life, and then you came about trying to find it again, trying to go back to the past of where that something would exist, because if it were just an update, well, you could just go back and find it, right? Wrong. You be dead wrong. In this case, someone experiencing the Mandela effect along with myself, well, you can't go back and find what something originally was because it doesn't or no longer exists anymore within that timeline. So that's the best way I can explain it. So the Mandela effect will erase your past of what it was, and you'll be left with the memory, but you know it used to be some way, but now it isn't anymore, which and thus the Mandela effect experience is born